Hello, hello, hello. It is I, Indigo Sage, an awakened soul, and here I am again talking to you in the very beginning just to remind you that you can find more spiritual healing and spiritual conversation at the number one blog spot for spirituality awakening, and that is unapologeticallysage.com. Also, look for Unapologetically Sage on Instagram as well as Facebook. Now, let me say this real quick. This is a side announcement. Well, not really an announcement, but so I've continually grow and I'm blessed with new equipment. However, what that means is that I'm constantly working with it and trying to figure it out. All right. So just please forgive me. My last video, the companion of this one, which is Act Now Choice One, I had major issues with the new microphone that I have. So I think I have figured it out. And we'll find out together if I have, okay? So just I continue to be blessed, like I said, with new equipment. However, with that, it comes me having to, trial and error phase. All right. So let me go ahead and welcome you to your Act Now message from your guardian angels. Your Act Now message features two choices that are causing a dilemma in your life. Your guardian angels are providing the insights in this reading to help you make a choice so that you may act now on your decision. Your Act Now topics will change according to what your guardian angels deem are your highest messages. Allow me to tell you a little bit of information about the designated decks for all Act Now messages. They are As Above and So Below by Barbara Moore. The As Above deck focuses on the nature of universal energies present in the world as it relates to your choices. This is looked upon as the energy available. The As Above cards represents the energy available. The So Below deck will be used as clarifiers for the As Above deck. These cards are to be viewed as how the energy is being used. Get it? As above, energy available. So below, how are you using the energy that's available? The So Below deck will show you how the universal energies play out in our everyday life, as well as how we experience the elements. There are 5 cards providing insight. They represent the past, present, best of the situation, worst of the situation, and what's to come as it relates to your situation. With that being said, let's sage this out. We are going to discuss Act Now Choice 2. New opportunities around every corner. This is the Mercury retrograde edition. However, guess what? This was done 2 weeks ago, and every time I went to record it, something came up. And for me, that was a divine intervention, which, made it happen now. Now, the reason why I'm saying all of this is because Mercury retrograde ended on the 21st. It is after the 21st. However, I always tell you guys that these messages are actually timeless. Okay? So your angels will lead you to the message at the exact right time that you need it. However, I'm not changing the fact that this is a Mercury retrograde edition. Now, what that means, let me go ahead and tell you what that means. And it means that, so normally when I do the Act Now messages, the As Above comes out, and then I match those with the So Below so that you can see how you're using the energy that's available to you. However, during Mercury retrograde, I do the process with the As Above cards. However, I go ahead and let the Mercury retrograde shuffle the energy as to how it's coming out. The reason why is, first of all, the angels told me to say this. I don't know who may be listening to this that doesn't believe, quote unquote, in Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde energy is very real. Okay? It's very real. Anyone who has any doubts or don't understand it, I strongly urge you to go ahead and do your own research as to how it affects our everyday life. Okay? And I'm 100% sure that once you do the research on that, you'll be able to match up the times. Your computer or phone might be going berserk for whatever reason, and soon you will understand and connect that with, is it Mercury? You'll ask yourself, is it Mercury retrograde time? Is Mercury in retrograde? And then you'll Google the dates, and then you'll see that it is. So anyone who wants to deny it, please do the research. Anyone who just doesn't know or never heard of it, please do the research. It's very real. Moving right along. So this is the Mercury retrograde edition, and I just explained how that works. How your energy comes out here, how you're using it can be very different than when we are not in Mercury retrograde. So therefore, when I do readings during the Mercury retrograde time, I change it up a little bit so that we can really get to the nitty-gritty of things and sage it out. So this is Act Now Choice 2, new opportunities around every corner. Very exciting. And of course it says Mercury retrograde edition. This one, settle in, folks, okay? Because this one is a doozy. It's a doozy. And it was very, very good. And I'm really feeling like, since, last month I did an extended on the Act Now Choice 2. And that one was long as well. This energy is still in the Act Now Choice 2. Which means for you guys that this one is going to be long as well. And I know that by now you can look at the timestamp, but I know that it's going to be long. All right, so buckle up, Sagies, and let's dive right in. Here we are at the past, and your past is in reverse, and it's reversed 9 of Earth. Preoccupation with the past or the future. Frantically fretting and worrying will not only not solve anything, but will in this case cause something important to be overlooked. Okay? So what I'm getting is the energy of an air sign, possibly Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. And with that energy, though, is thinkers and communicators, and just analyzation, just analyzing constantly the things that you don't understand. You're spending time analyzing it and thinking about it. Now, whether that be the past that you're thinking about or the future that you're thinking about, I don't know, but you do. So you're putting energy into analyzing either something that happened in the past or something that you want to happen in the future. So let's go ahead and look at the clarifier for more information. Okay, so the clarifier for the past is the Empress. All right, so you need patience to achieve your new beginning. Growing, nurturing, and healing is what the Empress card represents. One of the strongest pregnancy cards this is. Pregnancy could refer to a new child, new idea, new business, or new relationship. This card symbolizes action, development, accomplishment, and evolution. To achieve your new beginning, you need patience to allow things to grow and develop. And what the energy that I'm getting from this is that when you plant your seeds, you feel alive, you feel joy, you feel happy when they grow. when they come up and grow and they're beautiful and strong and exactly the way you expected or more, it makes you feel alive. You feel happy. You feel great. Okay? But remember, the card in the past said that you're putting a lot of energy into analyzing the past or the future. So what I gather as this is the clarifier saying that you'll feel alive and you'll feel happy when you see your seeds flourish either with the past, you're analyzing it because something did not turn out the way that you thought it would. You may have put in work or energy, which is planting your seeds, and it didn't grow the way that you thought it would grow. So you are putting time into trying to analyze what went wrong. That's one half of you. The other half, you're thinking about the future and you're planting your seeds, but you're analyzing how they may possibly grow, how it will possibly turn out. Will you be happy with the product? So, I can already see from jump, there's two different groups I'm talking to. Usually they tell me the percentage. I don't have well, the only thing okay, they are telling me a percentage, 50-50. It usually isn't 50-50, but it's 50-50 right now as the way it stands with this message, okay? So, that was in your past, though. So, let's see what you're doing, what your energy looks like in the present time. In the present, what we have is an upright four of earth, all right? And it's saying do not make hasty decisions and watch for careless errors. All right, so that's referring to your current situation right now. Furthermore, this card reminds you that the key to completing large or long-term projects is in making slow and steady progress. The angels wants me to repeat that to you and emphasize that. Slow and steady progress. So are you rushing something right now or wishing something would hurry up? Because their response to that is, the large or long-term projects they require slow and steady progress. There will come a time when all that you've saved, such as power, energy, and resources, will come in handy. Until then, keep quiet until they're needed. So what's going on right now is you're asking for your placement. You're trying to figure out where you placed. So for the ones who are thinking about your past, concentrating on your past, you're trying to see, not only are you trying to see what went wrong, but you're trying to see your level or your tier, I guess, with whatever the past is at this point. Now I'm going to tell you, in my heart, I feel like it's a relationship. All right? I feel like it's a romantic relationship. However, I'm going to just speak in general terms until it's confirmed, but you're looking for your placement, like, I'm speaking to the ones who are concentrating on the past. You're, not only are you analyzing, trying to see what went wrong, you're trying to see throughout the whole situation where your value was placed. Whether it was like value the most, value the second, value the third, kind of like tiers. They keep telling me in tiers, not tiers, T-E-A-R-S, but tiers, T-I-E-R-S. Or totem pole. Now they're telling me totem pole. You're trying to figure out where you ranked. And I'm going to just say, don't worry about that. Move forward now. Okay, so the ones who are thinking about the future, you're also thinking about ranking in tiers, but you're trying to guess where you will rank, whether with the project or the idea or a relationship, whatever it is. you're already trying to analyze and think about where you will rank, or they're saying like how to move up in the tiers, like move up, how to because you want, okay, this is what they're saying. You want to be in a higher ranking than where you currently are. All right, so moving right along, let's go ahead and look at the clarifier, because I'm really interested on how this is going to break down, since now I know there's two different groups. All right, let's dive in, sages, shall we? So we are looking at the present clarifier, which is 10 of Wands. Carrying a large burden or many burdens. All right, so 10 of Wands clarification is saying our expectations shape so many of our actions, which makes this question very necessary to ask yourself. Do I really need to carry all of this right now? Okay, so if you look at the picture, because of course I go off of intuition and what? Imagery. All right, so look at this picture, and this is representing how you're using the energy that is available to you, and it's a lot. It's a lot. Now, the first thing that I'm going to say that my grandma always told me was lay your burdens down, which means give your burden to God and let it go. Give it to God and let it go. That's my version of it. But when this card comes up, I've got to say that all the time. And with it saying that you need to ask yourself, do you really need to carry all of this right now? Come on. Come on, open up your eyes. That means that you got too much going on. So look at this picture. This is a woman who looks like it's the end of her day. And what it looks like to me, what I'm getting in, and this is the reason why I love imagery and going off of imagery so much, because 10 people can look at the same card and have 10 different epiphanies from the same card, the same image. So what I am picking up, and this goes for both, whether you're concentrating on the past or the future, is that look at her hands are full. Looks like she's coming home from work, but she had places to stop off at after work was over, and so she has all those bags in her hands. She has her purse, and she's putting the key in. But in real life, like, that card is telling me that she's carrying so much, she's fumbling, which is the reason why we see her at the door, and she's using her cell phone to like put a light on it so that she can see where the little keyhole is. And it's a fumbling. She's fumbling. She's trying to get it. So obviously before she turned the light on it, she was fumbling around. She wasn't able to get it in there the way it was supposed to be, and it's a key to a lock that I'm sure she's done this routine for years. The difference is now she's carrying a lot. So even though there's something that she's been doing for years, she knows how to do it, she's not dumb, but now it becomes a little difficult. Why? Because she's carrying a lot. She's carrying too much. She's carrying more than she should. She could have been way better organized than that, and maybe she went shopping and wasn't supposed to, and that may be her burden of why she got all them bags. And now she can't seem to open up the door. So there's many different ways to look at this. But then there's also something underneath that implies, and I'm saying that with this reading. So it's not that this card has this implication, but I'm getting a message from your angels that there may be an addiction, and it could be one of alcohol. And so to look at it in that light, that may be why she can't get the key inside of the lock that she's been able to do for years without a problem. And now all of a sudden it is. And then that burden becomes, figuratively speaking, when you try to hide an addiction, it gets heavy. You are carrying a heavy load on your back when you're trying to hide and disguise and lie about an addiction that you have. And it materializes, okay, the energy that you're using, it will become clear because this woman can't get the key into her lock. She needs help unlocking her door. And like I said, the same lock and door and key that she's been doing for years. So that's how it'll materialize. Okay? So, carrying a large burden or many burdens. That's how this energy in the present time is spilling out into your life. Let's go ahead and move forward and see the best of. Let's check that out. All right. So, the best possibility of the situation is represented by the Five of Fire in reverse. At this time, I want to remind you all that these decks, as above and so below, are independent of Rider-Waite. They carry meanings that may be similar or altogether different. So, this card is one of them that the reversed Five of Fire is altogether different. A lucky break is coming your way. In reverse, it means you're headed in the direction of wasting the gift. It is possible the reverse is due to miscommunication during Mercury retrograde. Realize that, accept that, and take a pause on major decisions right now. Okay? And here's the thing. When you're being spoon-fed, you need to measure your response. And I say that because that's the card that came out. I used my Ultimate Clarifiers deck on this. And, you know, it's not an extended and it's not anything that and I don't always do this. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. This message was so in depth that I wanted to get a little more clarity, to be a little more specific. And so when you're being spoon-fed something, if you've heard of that saying, and if you haven't heard of that saying, then go look it up. But when you're being spoon-fed, it's important to measure your response. So you don't always, when you're hearing something that may not sound right, shall I say, or you feel like you need boots on in order to listen to this, to quote Sophia from Golden Girls, okay, get into it, Golden Girls. But when you're being spoon-fed something and you know it's not quite right, don't instantly react, don't instantly respond, and sometimes you may not need to respond at all. Okay? Understand where you are investing your energy, where you're putting your energy into. All right? So it says measure your response when you're being spoon-fed. And then there's a picture of the measuring spoons. You know, half a teaspoon, half a tablespoon, you know. So you get where I'm going. And sometimes it's nothing at all. You don't have to respond at all. And I really strongly suggest, since it's still the Mercury retrograde energy going on, I suggest that you don't respond at all. But just be aware. Okay? Just be aware. We always need to be aware. We always need to be aware of the circumstances that surround the situation or the issue or the decision. Just duly note. All right. So duly note this. I'm getting ready to go to the best clarifier, which is, we'll see. Here's something that's very interesting. The best of clarifier is the upright 10 of chalices. All right. Taking steps to create a happy home life. Very, very good. Very good notion. So the energy from above is being used in this manner to take steps to create a happy home life. Very good and interesting pair. All right, going from the you may have missed an opportunity or wasting a gift and needing to measure your response to the clarification being you're taking steps to create a happy home life. So that's good. And what that shows me is that you are aware, the best of the situation, the best possibility of the outcome as it relates to your decision is that you are very aware and you're using that awareness with your energy wisely, because what you have on your mind is a happy home life. Okay. So let me tell you, tens mean the completion of an old cycle while bringing in a new one. They want me to repeat that. Tens mean the completion of an old cycle while bringing in a new one. So at this time, I'm going to advise that you go ahead and peep out that imagery. Look at the imagery and take it in as whatever it means to you. Clearly, I can see someone's getting married or they just got married. We can all see that, but pay attention not only to the theme of the card, but also the colors, the people, the genders. Pay attention to all of that, because all of that can speak to you just as well as anything else, and sometimes even more when you just look at the photo, the image. Okay. And you know what? I'm gonna go sidetrack just a little bit, but not really sidetracked. I'm gonna give you an example. I had a good friend who had her grandchildren over for the entire summer, and she used to walk all the time, as exercise. And when they came for the summer, of course, they were doing other activities, but she was still active, you know what I mean? But one day came where she was like, I miss walking and I want to go walking. And she told her grandchildren, they were like, yeah, 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 that they wanted to come with her, because I think she thought they wouldn't want to come walking because, as a kid, you may see that as being boring. And so, whatever happened in the day, she got busy and she didn't end up going walking that day. Now, I had no knowledge of this, and she requested a reading from me. So I go over there and I do the reading, and what comes up, there's a card that, it was one of my oracle cards, okay? And so, I love non traditional cards, by the way. Um, and so, anyway, the card came up and it said needing to get outdoors, and it was a woman, and there were three younger children behind her, and they were out in nature and enjoying it. And it's so funny because before I could say anything about that card, she, emotions came up and she was like, yep, yep. And she just started talking to me and telling me the story of what I just told you, that she was missing walking and intended to go out, and the three children in the picture represented her three grandkids who were going to go with her. And bright and early the next morning, they went out and did a walk on a trail and had a very good time. And during that reading, she was telling what she was worried about. And this is what we all kind of do when we're planning something. We bring up, for whatever reason, we think of like, what if, and all that what if is usually negative stuff. She was thinking they couldn't hang with her. They couldn't walk as long. They couldn't, do this. They would get bored. They may not listen to her. So she built up in her mind all of the what ifs, which became a wall to block it, to stop it. That was an unnecessary wall, which we all do at some point or another. We start thinking too much, and this is specifically for the ones who are worrying about the future. Don't build up an unnecessary wall of worry. Okay? A wall of worry. Your worry wall. Maybe I need to write about that at unapologeticallysage.com. I probably will, but don't build up your worry wall, because first of all, think about it. We've got enough going on in this earth that will build up a wall without your assistance. Your assistance is not needed to try to create something going against you. Okay? You don't need to do that. What you need to do is tap into your own innate energy that you naturally have. You possess divine energy within you. We all do. Set your goal, which means your intentions. Set your intentions with confidence and go out and do it. And whatever that is, it will manifest. Your intentions, set your intentions, and then put it into action and watch it work. Watch the magic, watch the manifestation. That's all you got to do. It's just that simple. All right. So yeah, that very next day she went out and they had a good time, and then they wanted to go every day. So my point in telling that story is that I didn't even get out what I felt what the card meant and all this kind of stuff, which is a point of why I go more by my intuition and images versus what is already preset for the card to mean. Which speaks to why I love this deck, the As Above and the So Below. They are untraditional when compared to the Rider-Waite. So I've went on long enough, and so let me go ahead and break this down. Tens mean the completion of an old cycle while bringing in a new one. The new one is your lucky break, which we heard earlier about you having a lucky break. By celebrating your newfound blossoming heart, you allow yourself to be happy again in a way you didn't think was in your near future. It may be time to introduce your new love to your family very soon, but wait. Mercury is in retrograde, and that will cause genuine communication to go haywire. So let me interject. Mercury in retrograde was scheduled to end on the 21st of this current month. However, I just want to let you guys know either this will be a reminder or it will be new to you. However, you guys need to understand that energy is still in the air and going on at least 7 days after. At least. Through my experience, it could also be 14 days after. So even though we have dates, they are not, you just need to understand that the date is not like, oh, this is the exact day that this stuff is going to start. This is the exact day that my computer will stop acting weird. That's not how it works. There's residual energy going on constantly. So even though it may have been scheduled to end on the 21st, we are still in it. Okay? So just giving you a little, and I still encourage you guys to look up Mercury retrograde so that you can understand it and accept it better, and just, because where I used to work, when Mercury retrograde went on, all of our computers went wacky, of course, and them IT people were becoming frantic because they couldn't fix it. They didn't understand what was going on. And it's so funny because when one of them was at my computer one time trying to work on it, I um, said something under my breath about you can't control Mercury retrograde, or you can't fix Mercury retrograde. And he looked at me and smiled and was like, I know, right? And I was like, you know about Mercury retrograde? As hard as you working on this computer? And he said, I'm just wasting time until it's over. Hold on, I started laughing. I don't know if you guys got that. He just said, I'm just wasting time until it's over. He said, I know there's no fix for it. It's Mercury retrograde. He said, but whatever my boss tells me to go out and do to each computer, I'm going to do it. And I was like, this is crazy. I need to go into IT. Them people get paid a lot. But actually, he's one of them that didn't appear to be very concerned or frantic or frustrated. The other ones, it was a huge company, so we had like 5 IT. The other ones were frantic because they couldn't seem to figure it out. And so my response, when they finally made it over to my desk, he wasn't, when I come to think about it, he wasn't frantic or frustrated at all. He was very calm and just, he said, I'm just going to do whatever my boss tells me to do. Just with so much ease, just accepting it as it comes to him, which is also a theme in this message. Okay, see how I bring that right back around? There's no need to be frantic or frustrated trying to figure out why the past didn't, your past seeds didn't sprout or grow the way that you thought they would. There's no need to sit up here and try to harp on planting seeds now and what will they look like in my future. Just accept divine timing as it comes to you. You'll be all right. Back to the clarification. So the 10s, as I said, mean the completion of an old cycle while bringing in a new one. The new one is your lucky break. By celebrating your newfound blossoming heart, you allow yourself to be happy again. Okay? Allow yourself to be happy again in a way you didn't think was in your near future. It may be time to introduce your new love to your family very soon, but wait, Mercury is in retrograde, and that will cause genuine communication to go haywire. So your guardian angels ask that you just think about it right now. Okay? Just pause and think about just pause and think about the process of introducing your new love to your family, and put it into action after the retrograde. Okay? After you feel like the retrograde has completed in your life, then put it into action. But at least now you have time to think it out, because you're a thinker. You are a thinker. The person I am talking to, you analyze situations to death. And the thing about it is, I'm not picking up like worry, because to me there's a difference between analyzing things to death and worrying about them. It's more analyzation than it is worry. So I wouldn't call you a worrier. You just analyze. You are a thinker, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's your natural thing. You're constantly thinking. Your brain doesn't stop thinking and analyzing. Because you're constantly cutting through the BS. That's another thing about you. This person I'm talking to, you cut through the bullshit. Okay? You're a natural communicator. You just, but you cut to the chase. You're the cut to the chase type of person. You think about something, you analyze it, and then you get down to the nitty gritty. That's just the type of person that you are, and that's perfectly fine. So your angels are telling you to, so far as wanting to introduce your new love to the family. And that new love, I'm saying new love right now because obviously we have a wedding card, but it could be the new idea or the new move you're going to make. New project. And when I say new move, I literally mean moving maybe to a different city or state. Whatever that is that's new in your life, you're wanting to introduce it to your family. However, pause and think about it right now and put it into action after the retrograde. Try not to miss your lucky break though. Take negative things with a grain of salt during Mercury retrograde, then revisit afterwards. Okay? So, for the ones that are thinking and analyzing about your past, specifically, you are diving deep into the details of the situation, as I've already talked about, already pointed that out. That's what you're doing, and you're digging and digging and digging. And what you will find with your digging, or what you found already, is that it's time for you to just walk away with your fabulosity. Okay? Walk away. It's time to walk away from that. You're digging, you're analyzing, you're cutting through the BS. Because you have air energy. The person has air energy. It's just that, one group is doing this, one group is doing that. For the group that is analyzing the past, that's because you're diving deep into the details of it. And what you're going to find at the bottom of that well is going to push you forward in order to walk away from it. Now, I don't know if that's because it hurts or if that's because it's great, but we're going to keep going to see, or you may already know. You may have already been to the bottom of the well and you see what it is and you're walking away now. But let me remind you, this is in the position of the best of the situation. So the best of the situation is saying you're gonna, let me tell you something, you're gonna either walk away. For the ones who's analyzing the past, you're gonna walk away from that fabulously. For the ones that are thinking about their future, you're going to walk towards your future fabulously. Get what I'm saying? So either way, there's some walking going on. Either way, both groups, you guys are feeling the details of it. You're remembering things. You're looking at things, analyzing things. Okay? So the ones that are, shall I say, stuck in the past, analyzing the past, because you probably got offensive. You're offended when I said stuck. Analyzing the past, you will end up walking away from that past. The ones that are thinking about the future, you will end up walking towards your bright future. Okay? So let's go ahead and dive into the worst of it. Come on, Sagies. That is something that we must do. The worst says you are unable to leave the past behind you. The worst is represented by the 8 of Water, which is represented by Saradwin, the goddess. While Saradwin is the goddess of the cauldron, she is also known for death, rebirth, divine wisdom, inspiration, and magic. The cauldron is seen as a circle of magic that transforms things. Her womb has been referred to as a cauldron at times. That brings us back to the Empress in the past position, which represents pregnancy. Again, possible references are giving birth to brand new ways of thinking, being, and living. The cards frequently use pregnant and womb metaphors as giving birth to anything new with positive energy or intention. They want me to repeat to anything new. Anything new. Okay? The best of position spoke of a lucky break, possibly with a new relationship. With that being said, the worst of this card is that you are unable to leave the past behind you. Again, I will remind you all during Mercury retrograde, you may have thoughts of past exes. Those exes may even reach out to you as the retrograde affects us all in the same way. I urge you to think twice about inviting the past back in. Ask yourself, do I want to move forward or backwards? Literally, the past is behind you. You'd be moving backwards. Your guardian angels send a message of congratulations to you for your growth. They recognize that it hasn't been easy, but you've grown spiritually and emotionally. With that being said, your guardian angels want you to internalize this concept right now. Keep only learned lessons from the past while moving forward consistently. I'll repeat it out of kindness, out of the kindness of my heart. Your guardian angels want this internalized by you. Keep only learned lessons from the past while moving forward consistently. Consistency will birth progress. Get into it. In other words, don't give your past the power to make you stuck and leave you in stagnation. Instead, keep your power by learning the lesson and not repeating it as you move forward in your journey. The worst clarifier says time for renewal and cleansing. That just so happens to be from a major arcana entitled The Stars. Okay, so you got the star card in the worst position as a clarifier. That's very interesting. This is how you're using that energy. This is how you're putting the energy to use, which is the energy from the Eight of Water, which represents brand new ways of thinking, being, and living. Okay? So, and then the downfall from that, or the con part, pros and cons, that you're unable to leave the past behind you. So that becomes clarified by the stars, which the main point of this card is a time for renewal and cleansing. I get that instantly. That relates to you not being able to let go of the past. Yeah. So you're putting that energy, the way that energy looks and the way you're using it is for the renewal and cleansing part of your journey or your soul, your being. And that's great. That's absolutely 100% necessary in order to, that tells me that you are trying to let go of the past. You know what? They just said past mistakes. You're viewing your, that's okay. Now I get it. You're viewing your past as a big mistake. They're saying big mistake. Big mistake. They are quoting Julia Roberts in that movie, Pretty Woman. I'm not laughing at you for feeling like you made a big mistake. I'm just, the way that they, I don't know if you guys know it, but your guardian angels, your spirit guides, even God or your, whoever your higher power is, They come in and speak to you in your language. Now, that doesn't mean French or Spanish, or Arabic. What it means is the way that you speak and, are spoken to, but mostly the way you speak in your life, your physical life. And so just understand that when I saw the Julia Roberts big mistake, they showed me big mistake, big, huge, big mistake. Um, I am and natural. My nature naturally is. Um, Gosh, I just had the word and it left me, but um, happy doesn't describe. Like I'm a silly. Silly is the word. Sometimes I'm a little silly. So when the angels talk to me, they talk in my language, which is bright. There's humor and a little bit of silliness, but I get serious when need be. Anyway, so your clarifier is saying it's time for renewal and cleansing, and that relates directly to the you not being able to leave the past behind you. All right. So the urgent need for renewal and cleansing will be brought upon you by obsessing over past events, or as I like to call it, the shoulda, woulda, couldas. And this relates to you feeling like it was a big, but like as if you made a big mistake. You're carrying, there we go, you're carrying all the burdens on your shoulder as it relates to why the past seed that you planted did not grow and sprout and come into fruition as you had planned. First thing I need to say is get out of yourself. Step out of yourself thinking that you have control to plan anything, because you don't. All of that goes with the divine and divine timing. You don't have the control. God has the control. You don't. When you accept that, the sooner you accept that, the better off you'll be. All right? So that's the first thing. Secondly, do not blame yourself for what happened in the past, because I want to say, Indigo Sage is telling you that you weren't the only one in that situation. Now, I don't know if it's work, a project, an idea you had that you worked on, or a relationship in the romantic category. Whatever it is, you weren't alone in it. And it didn't come into fruition, and you decided, I don't know why, you decided to carry that full burden of why it didn't happen the way that you feel like, quote unquote, it should have. Stop. That way of thinking will get you nowhere fast. And I hope you understand what I'm saying. So that is why the star card is telling you it's a time for renewal and cleansing. Now, the reason why that's in the worst position, and actually it's the worst position's clarifier, is because that would be the worst of this decision making process right here. If you allow yourself to become stuck in the past, that would be the worst. Here we are at what's to come. Your past will be laid to rest. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. Have I got your attention? All right. So let's sage this out. What's to come is the reverse crone of earth. She lays the earth to rest. Even the earth must regenerate. There is a time for everything in life, including death. What is coming is the end, which is death, of something in your life. The card is in reverse, which means you are resisting the inevitable end. This reminds me again of the card that said you are not able to leave the past behind you. The what's to come card is telling you the end of your past dealings is what's to come. It's going to happen. Your past will be laid to rest no matter what. In other words, it can be done the easy way or the hard way, and it is up to you. Now, I know when I say that, I have spirit sounding like it's a cold-blooded gangster. We could do this the easy way or the hard way. I'm not saying spirit or the divine is a cold-blooded gangster, but I'm telling you that these are the facts of the situation. It's going to be done. Your past is going to be sealed and done and over with. Death will become it. And that is inevitable. It can be done the easy way or the hard way. It's up to you, but it will be done. Now, just cherish these insights. These are insights that I'm giving from your guardian angels. The easy way is reflected in the cards from the best position. Those cards told you that you would receive a lucky break as it pertains to new beginnings in your life that are approaching. When you do that, you allow the natural process to lay your past to rest, and it will happen in divine timing. The cards indicate a current opportunity or in your near future, which is great. It will all happen in divine timing. The hard way indicates that you are stuck in the past, which causes no movement towards future goals. Although God will bless us, we still have to do our part for it to come into fruition. If you're moving backwards, you become further away from your new beginning. They want me to repeat that, and I'm a little shocked because I feel like, what don't you understand about that? Who could not understand that? But they're telling me to repeat it for emphasis. If you're moving backwards, you become further away from your new beginning. Therefore, you are prolonging the natural ending of the past, but not preventing it. Get into it. Prolong and prevent, although they both start with a P, they're not the same. If you're moving backwards, you're prolonging the natural ending of the past, but you're not preventing it. When you go against the grain, more often than not, your outcome will be painful and drawn out, only to come to the conclusion that was always meant. And remember, this is the as above, so below, which represents the energy above, the energy that's provided, and then the so below is how you use that energy. So as above, it is ended. Your past is ended. Okay? So it's up to you on how you're going to accept, take, admit, use the death of your past. And as I saw before, you're blaming yourself for what you feel like were mistakes, and you're trying to analyze your past. Like, don't do that. Now, even for the ones who were not fixated on the past, but they were fixated on the future, you're fixated on the future because of your past. Whatever happened in the past makes you question what it is that what you now have in your eyesight, in your line of vision. What you're set on right now is great and good and divinely manifested, but you are holding yourself back because of whatever the past was. So get into it. You guys both sections, because you know I said one is concentrating on the past, one is looking at the future, and you both were over analyzing. And even for the one who's fixated on the future, analyzing the future, you're over analyzing due to what you view or see as past mistakes. So the past is affecting both parties. Okay? So let's go ahead and clarify and see what the clarifier is for the what's to come. What's to come is clarified by One of Pentacles. So as you know, the what's to come was the reversed crone of earth, which lays things to death. She's clarified by the reversed Ace of Pentacles. This card says missed opportunities shows up yet again. Missed opportunity shows up yet again. All right. Throughout this reading, there's been something lurking in the shadows and peeking around the corner. And what that has been is eyeballs on you to see if you're going to miss that opportunity or not. Are you going to take that opportunity or not? There's an opportunity presented to you, which I have talked about throughout, I think, every single position that I've mentioned. And then also it followed with the potential to miss it, skip it, not see it, ignore it. And first of all, they're strongly saying that you need to understand that if you don't take this opportunity, there's always someone waiting to take it. So that relates to some of you if it's about your job or whatever situation you may be in, whatever decision you're thinking about. If you take too long, because time is of essence, if we're talking about, it just depends. I'm getting the feeling that you know, whomever this is resonating with, you're aware that time is of essence. So if you pass up this opportunity, or as it was referred to earlier, lucky break, don't fool yourself into thinking that it'll be available later. Your angels are letting me know that it will not. There's always someone waiting. They say waiting in the wings. And the thing about it is, the reason why I was resistant with using that term, because I don't usually use it because I don't understand it. And so I don't have full 100% confidence in how I'm using it. I don't know if it's waiting in the wings, waiting in the wing. I don't understand waiting whose wing. Who got a wing? I don't know. I don't know what they're talking about. But hopefully this is resonating with you. Someone is always waiting in the wing. And I pray that is what that term is, because I'm bad with terms and phrases, but been blessed enough for people to understand what I'm saying. So you're thinking you have time and you don't. All right, that's the bottom line, because someone waiting in the wings. I don't know if it's a chicken wing, turkey wing, angel wing, somebody waiting in the wings. All right. So this is clarified by the reversed Ace of Pentacles, which first at jump is saying missed opportunities shows up again. So this is something that's throughout this message. You need to accept this insight and use it for the betterment of your situation, issue, or decision. Now this card is saying, well, it's representing gifts laid before you. When we choose to work with them in harmony, they assist us in our endeavors. Any option pursued seems to carry unlimited potential. This card points directly at an opportunity for prosperity. However, the card is in reverse. In reverse, it can mean two things. First meaning is you've missed an opportunity due to stagnation. The second meaning is you chose to return to your past disposition and behavior, which resulted in a low vibrational outcome. Understand that. Choice 2. They want me to repeat it. Whenever I go into repeat mode, it's because they want me to repeat it. And I will oblige. The second meaning is you chose to return to your past disposition and behavior, which resulted in a low vibrational outcome. Your past disposition and behavior, the way you would handle situations, the way you would react to things you didn't like, was not in your best interest, not in your best light. It was low vibrational. And the worst to come clarified as saying that you did that and the results were low vibrational. And let me tell you something so that you guys all can kind of understand or try to understand. What you put out, you get back. Very simple. What you put out, you get back. What you throw out there in the universe, you get it back. So going into this past energy, however you view it, that's low your energy is low vibrational. So you can only expect the results to match that, which is low vibrational. You can't go into a situation low vibrational and then maintain your low vibration thoughts and behaviors, and then expect for some kind of magical way it's going to end up high vibrational. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. So it's like, if this is gonna sound crazy because this sounds crazy to me, but like, if you just take your wallet or your coin purse or whatever, and you put $1 in it, they said that's like you driving from point A to point B and then taking out your wallet or your coin purse and expecting $2 to now be in there, when you know you only put $1 in there. So that's ridiculous, right? It makes no sense, right? That sounds crazy, right? You can't imagine any one of your friends thinking that way, processing thoughts that way, or being that way. You go in your car and put $1 in your wallet and then drive to the store, take your wallet out, and then you just expect $2. That sounds ludicrous. However, that's the way that you're viewing the situation from your past. You're going in with low vibration and expect to come out with some kind of high vibration. It doesn't work like that. So let me keep going. So the reverse Ace of Pentacles. This card represents gifts laid before you. When we choose to work with them in harmony, they assist us in all our endeavors. Any option pursued seems to carry unlimited potential. This card points directly at the opportunity for prosperity. However, the card is in the reverse. In the reverse, it can mean two things. One is a missed opportunity due to stagnation. The second meaning is brought on by your low vibrational actions or reactions. Yes, I know I repeated that and I felt the need to. Keep listening. I find that reverse cards oftentimes represent your fear of the situation. So now that I've scared the crap out of you, let's take another look at what's to come, except this time they'll be upright and we'll address your fears. I think I will call this a mini extended. And I was going back and forth on whether or not to cut right here and make a separate video for the mini extended portion. And I'm calling it mini because I'm only doing the what's to come. I'm only going to address the what's to come. So here we are, the angel number message tile 3. So I always let you guys know in my readings that I created the angel number tiles because angels cooperate with us, send us messages all the time, every day of our life. And one of the common ways is through numbers, and each angel number has a message. So, and we just, unconsciously we see them and we don't pay attention to them. So that's why I felt it very important. I felt a big need to bring attention to the angel number messages. So I created the tiles with a bunch of different numbers on them that I channeled. And so the one that came up for this message is simply 3. So what I do is give you the highlights of the message, the bullet points of the message, and I encourage you to look them up on your own. So after this reading, I do encourage you to look up angel number message 3, because what you'll find is a vast ocean of information on angel number 3. And any of that can speak directly to your heart wisdom. Okay? Now, I'm not covering the whole entire every single thing possible that relates to number 3. I'm just giving you the bullet points. All right? So here are the bullet points. Angel number message tile 3 symbolizes the principle of increase and growth, manifesting with the vibration of the ascended masters. Your angels encourage you to follow your life path with optimism and enthusiasm. Understand that your intuition and inner wisdom are filters for appropriate action. You are being asked to use this energy wisely. So again, I'm going to repeat this. And I'm repeating this because, yes, the angels asked me to repeat it, but it's so funny because I'm having to enact this right now at the moment. Understand that your intuition and inner wisdom are filters for appropriate action. So you are being asked to use this energy wisely. Have faith that your goals and desires will manifest in your life in divine right time. Okay? So don't pay attention to the outside, is what it's saying. Don't pay attention to the outside negative forces that may surround you. All right? You have to have faith that your goals and desires will manifest in your life in the divine right time. This is what your angels are telling you. All right? You have to have faith over fear. Point blank, period. You must have faith over fear. And therefore, in that way, also coupled with your intuition and wisdom, but mostly coupled with you giving your burdens to God, that's the best way to manifest your desires. But the catch is you have to give them to God and leave them there. No longer try to fix it yourself. No longer worry about it. No longer look to the past. No longer try to fix the past. No longer try to analyze what went right and what went wrong, which is the energy I kept getting in this message. You'd have to stop that and just give it to God. And don't worry about it no more. And when you have that level of faith, let me tell you something. I smiled so much when I first had that level of faith to where my cheeks hurt, because you get a sense of freedom that you've never had in your life before, knowing that God's got your back and He's going to take care of it. No matter what person may have done you wrong, God's going to take care of it. No matter what relationship didn't turn out the right way, don't worry about that and how to fix it and what went wrong. God's going to take care of it. That was for you to learn from. No matter if you got passed up for a promotion at your job, don't worry about it. God has something even better planned for you. So you have to kind of leave your sight behind and use God's sight. And trust Him. Okay? So faith is blind. So you do have to have faith and go into the situation. And really, you know what was funny to me growing up? They always was like, faith is blind. But the thing about it is, as I am older and experienced and I have faith, my faith is not actually blind, because I know God can do it. My eyes are set on God. So I'm not blind. I'm focused on God and I know He can do it. So that's just me, but you know, I'm not getting into church and religion and all of that. But you know, when you come into your own, you translate it however you need to, because every single person, you know how they say we all have a love language, we all have a religious language too. Okay? It's not all the same. So, back to this number 3 tile. You are being asked to use this energy wisely. And you'll be okay. All right? All right. Hello, Sagies. Thank you so much for viewing my video. I really appreciate it. And I am going to ask you if it resonated, or if there were other things that, you know, they resonated and you just wanted to talk about it or whatever, had feelings about it. Please be sure to comment down below. Or you can also go to unapologeticallysage.com and start a conversation there about it. All right. So if it resonated, like I said, please click like and subscribe. Also, please be safe. Continue to have safety at the front of your mind when you go out and about. All right? Thank you so much and have a blessed week.